In this video, I'm going to talk about what you need to go hiking in the winter. Do you really need a bunch of expensive gear, or can you get away with things? Well, the TL:DR, the too long didn't read, is no, you don't. Check it out. I'm wearing jeans. I do have my boots on, and I've got my fleece jacket here. I've got another jacket. I've got my blue fleece jacket. I've got my sunglasses, and somewhere back there is my Eddie Bauer backpack. Now, this is a relatively controlled situation. Jeez, my arm's tired already. This is not good. This is a controlled situation. There is no weather. The sun is going to set soon. You can see the sun there. It's getting darker. There's a light breeze. But I've been walking 3 miles according to the snowmobile track. Of course, my hat's falling off. I'm kind of struggling here. But I've been hoofing it for quite a bit. It's just above 5,000 feet, or I don't know, what is that, 1,500 meters? So, yeah, 3 miles, or I don't know, maybe 5 kilometers. And I've been having a pretty good time. It's generally at sea level, so the altitude here, yeah, that's the problem with being a polar explorer, mountaineering, and all that is when you're at sea level for a while and you come up and you do this, you expect to bomb it out. And then you're sucking wind. So that is a pretty funny experience. But this is just to show you that when people show you, oh, you can have a $500 Arc'teryx shell pants, not jeans. You can have a $200 or $300 Patagonia shirt, and let's see, my ball cap here. My aunt gave it for me from the Ward Hotel in Silver Dollar Bar, or Cowboy Bar. See, now hang on to the end. I'm gonna hit a couple points here. But as people go along, you think, wow, I got to buy all this stuff, and, just like going crazy. In fact, I was reading in this month's Backpacker magazine about these women who went out hiking. It was like in Tennessee or somewhere. And they thought, oh, yeah, no problem. I've got my kids. Well, it's the summer. They had their kids on, their shorts, or, tank top, or whatever they were. And they ran into some dude who does the mansplain thing to, like, girls, you're gonna fall and break your tailbone. Oh my gosh. And all of a sudden they got this thing in their head of, oh, holy smokes, are we in real danger? Should we have all that crazy gear? I mean, that dude looked like he came right out of Sportsman's Warehouse or REI or something, probably wearing $1,000+ in gear for a summer hike. And all of a sudden these young women are like, oh my gosh, this is dangerous. I'm like, oh geez, okay, so part of my channel, and this is why hopefully you keep watching here, is that it shows you, okay, there's some crazy gear because you go to Antarctica, you go to other places, you can have crazy gear. It's just the way it is. But can you be out here in Southwest Washington or, somewhere like that where there's a light breeze, maybe 5 to 10 knots. It's, I don't know, 25 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit, about 0 to -5 degrees Celsius, and I'm out here walking. Now, my fingers are starting to freeze, and here's a couple tips. Do you need crazy expensive gloves? No. Look, I do this. I literally suck my hand in and close it up, and that is a mitten. How much does this mitten cost? Nothing. That's right. Now, the problem out here is the wind. It's breezy, my ears are starting to hurt. So I took out one of my jackets and just did the Arab thing, and voila, I'm ready to go. All of a sudden the wind's cut off here. Now I'm exposing my body, and when I go downhill, the wind's going to be behind me, so that's going to be a good bonus. But, it's a little bit of a challenge to deal with this. So first thing, keep your fingers warm. My toes are starting to get cold. Well, actually, they're not really cold, but I think I probably have to go to the bathroom. That's going to be another problem you've got in the winter is, yeah, you're going to have to go to the bathroom a lot more because generally you're not going to sweat. But what will happen is when you're hiking up a big old steep hill, you're going to start sweating. So one of your main goals, the number one goal, this is why you're watching this video, is avoid sweating at all costs. Does that mean you have to go PEE a lot more? Yeah, pretty much. That's just the way it works. But if you sweat, the moment you stop, like I pushed it just a little bit, and my heart's thumping, and oh geez, a little bit sweaty. That was a mistake. I was like, oh yeah, it's fine. But of course, I'm 3 miles out here. The sun sets. I'm using the measurement technique here. The sun's gonna set in less than an hour, 45 minutes. So actually, I'm 3 miles out. I'm pretty far out. I should start walking it here. Now, as you're hiking in the winter, the first thing you want to check or do is make sure that you're on a track that you will not get lost. If you come to a bunch of junctions and you think you're gonna get lost, reconsider what you're doing. Now, I do have my handy dandy phone, and the battery lasts quite long. It's a iPhone 12 Max or whatever it is. But what I did is I downloaded Google Maps offline. I don't work for Google. I'm not sponsored by Google. Sometimes Google's a little questionable, but their product's awesome. So if you download the map of the area that you've got offline, at least you have something to work with. So you probably have a phone, and if you don't, well, that's okay too. But as you can see here, I'm marching along the snow. I'm doing pretty well. But one of the things is when you're out here, you cannot be, especially in, without gaiters or jeans, is if you start getting in the deep snow, where you start punching through and you get your jeans wet, that's going to be H-E-L-L. You do not want to get your jeans wet, so you're going to need to stay on packed trails. Now, the next challenge you're going to discover is without snowshoes, it's a slog. It's a real slog. So the trick, here's why you're watching this video, is see where I'm walking right now? It is very hard pack with a tiny shell, and that is easy to walk on. But I walk in the snowmobile tracks here, you think, oh, this would be great. But actually, I end up walking uphill almost 50% slower because it's not packed. So the goal is you want to walk on the hardest packed stuff possible. Now, does that mean you're going to wander back and forth across the road a lot or on the trail? Yeah, actually, I do that all the time because the energy that I spend, right now, it's just slipping and sliding and hoofing along. It really is kind of challenging to walk on. So I scan the road for the next hard spot to walk on, and it works pretty well. Now, do you think, you should walk straight and be pretty hardcore about it? No, not really. Stabilizer's on. Okay, good. But that's the whole point here. This is what I'm totally trying to get across here. And hopefully you're watching and enjoying this and seeing me out in the outdoors, because I've got a couple of subscribers that are calling me out and like, hey, Aaron, you say you're an explorer, but you're not outside. Okay, I'm outside here. I'm doing it hardcore, being completely unprepared in jeans and everything. So to my subscribers who want to call me out and say, hey, this is bogus, I am nowhere near a city. As you can see, I'm in the middle of the woods, like 3 miles into the woods. Now, if I slipped or got hurt or anything, would I have to claw my way back? Is this a dumb time to come out? Of course it is. Don't come out in the afternoon. But I was wandering around, I looked on the map, and I saw, hey, there's a snow park that I can go check out, and maybe it'd be a good place to come out and do some camping videos. I keep hitting the zoom on the camera. That's kind of annoying. But I wanted to come out and do some videos, live action, because I do a lot of stuff in my studio, which there's a reason for that, subscribers and people who are watching, is because I can control the audio and I can control the environment. Out here, if there's a lot of wind blasting or whatever, I was checking out their Norwegian Explorer. That guy was out there and it was blasting, but he was having a good time, so it kind of inspired me now. It's like, all right, I gotta go film outside. And the reason I just avoid filming outside is because I can't control the environment. And if it's loud or the sound's terrible, people won't put up with it. But I'll have to come out here, bring out the tent, or do my tarp camping and show you that it's totally possible, whether you spend whether you spend a bunch of money or you don't have a lot of money, can you totally go out? Yeah, and by the way, there's a photographer named Tom Murphy who inspired me to go out in Yellowstone the first time. That dude just literally had a big old tent from Walmart, and he was camping out in Yellowstone in minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit or minus whatever, 20 or 17 degrees Celsius, whatever it is. So you can totally get away with some things, but you can't get away with probably the boots, the jeans, and the sleeping bag. If you get those things, you can get away with a lot of other stuff. My name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional adventurer. Please check out links in the description of my books: Antarctic Tears, Lost at Windy Corner, Adventure Expedition 1, How to Keep Your Feet Warm in the Cold, the Jackson Hole Hiking Guide, The Most Crucial Knots to Know, and my shows Antarctic Tears and World Beyond. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy your time out here. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That way you can get more info like this. Thanks. Peace out.